Okay, so our artist of choice was Salvador Dalí, who is well known as a modernist artist who specialized in surrealism, which emphasized very dreamlike depictions of the human subconscious, going against the previous movement of realism by instead focusing on the more abstract forms of art rather than more realistic depictions of our world.
hmm And like its name, surrealism, gives off surrealistic kind of characteristics in its artworks. And we are going to be looking at four of his artworks actually and commenting on them to see how they relate to the characteristics of the time. So yeah, next we have the Persistence of Memory, which is a very well-known artwork actually. Most of the people in the world know Dali for this painting. So, Avi, would you like to comment on this artwork?
Yeah, so here Dolly is like using very realistic images to depict something that is very not like something you wouldn't see in real life, like making hard objects look like literally cheese on the screen
hmm
and like painting things that wouldn't normally go together in like a realistic depiction in all in one painting. And it's definitely like it definitely represents something you would see kind of like in your dreams if you were like unconscious. And yeah,
hmm Like if you look at the artwork, there are many things that catch your attention, especially the clocks that, yeah, are like melted like cheese. And those are often the features in the artworks that many people would study in Dali's artworks, that he'll have some things that simply just are not real, not realistic at all, which is characteristic of the modernist style at the time. We also have a pocket watch looking figure that has ants on it, which might relate to the title of the artwork, The Persistence of Memory. Yeah.
yeah.
Should we
And
move on?
another comment is that a lot of surrealist artists took inspiration from like psychologists that were kind of developing new theories on the human mind and kind of studying like doing analysis on the way we think. And it definitely like relates to like memories and like, what Faith said,
Mhm,
like time persisting and how like people start to understand more, especially like Sigmund Freud, one of his theories was that like the unconscious holds all the human memories and like kind of develops personality and like actions that we do. So, yeah.
mhm. Yeah. And Sigmund Freud is also known for his psychosexual psychologic theories. But that's a topic for another time. So let's move on to the next one. This one's the disintegration of memory, actually, which seems to be kind of like a sequel to the previous one. So, Ash, would you like to comment on this one?
Well, the thing that jumps out instantly is the reusage of the clocks, which just as in the last one appear to be melting and warped, with since both these titles surround it about memories that can be like as you mentioned, like with Sigmund Freud and personalities developing the subconscious, like over time memories fade away. And this one about like the dissolving of memories, like it is reminiscent of the persistence of memory, although there are differences. Obviously, like the ground is broken into tiles and there's a fish in the background rather than the mountain reflecting on the ground. Even the warped clocks are becoming more and more warped as time continues to pass.
Yeah.
And that's kind of relating to the modernist movement, as with the passing of time, art has been warped from very realistic depictions of our world to these weird, dreamlike representations of the subconscious.
Yeah.
Mm,
I definitely agree on what you said about how it's a nice kind of like continuation of the persistence of memory and how like all things will eventually fade away. And, like,
mhm,
I guess like with like the turn of a new era and like a new literary and also like artistic movement, things change and people change their ideologies and everything like kind of warps into this new thing and it all eventually like disintegrates.
And I think it's pretty apt to note that, like we mentioned in class, the modernist movement was really just, if you could simplify it, one point would be the rejection of reality. Like we see a mountain and its reflection being broken too. So none of it's really realistic, which is kind of characteristic of Dali's surrealistic style.